ground troops in Iran.
And I think the only purpose that I could see would be to get the enriched uranium.
He spoke on NBC's Meet the Press. The war is now in its sixth week, with the Pentagon reporting over 300 troops injured and 13 killed. Black Good Morning America weekend anchor Janae Norman is leaving the show after ABC chose not to renew her contract. The longtime ABC journalist joined the network as an intern in 2011 and became weekend co-anchor in 2022. And Cardi B is stepping into a new role, serving as a judge for New York City's 2K childcare jingle competition. The contest invites creators to produce an original jingle promoting early childhood education across the city. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
And hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Yo, turn it up. It's Gerod on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans City got us hard in the beat, but corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. Gotta take back the street. From the French Quarter vibes to the Ninth Ward grind, he's the voice of the people, yo, he's one of a kind. Talking about the struggle, the hustle, the pain, but with each word he drops, he's bringing power to the game. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerod's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerod on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerod on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tune in out, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerod on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it loud, let's uplift this place.
Let's uplift this place. You couldn't lift nothing.
Yeah.
Let's uplift this place.
Yeah.
Let's lift this place. Uplift, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, I was about to get you.
You need some uplifting.
I was about to get you.
You need some uplifting.
I was really about to get you.
You really need to be uplifted. That's what's
really
wrong with you.
about to get you.
You need some uplifting. So we're going to get about 20 of our folks to call in and just tell Wick he needs some uplifting.
Ooh, boy, I got reply.
How's your Monday?
I can't
How's your
say
Monday?
it.
How's
I
your
can't
Monday?
Say it. Oh, I can't say it.
I think you just look forward to this, haterade that you are dishing out the first beginning of the show.
Can't say what I want to say.
So that's good. That's good.
Uplift them. Uplift them.
You uplift them too. So, but anyway, how was your weekend? How was your Easter?
Man, honestly, I forgot it was Easter. That's gonna sound bad, but I really forgot it was Easter.
You forgot it was Resurrection Sunday?
I mean,
Easter Sunday?
yeah.
Can I ask why?
I just it really just slipped my mind.
I guess you had some time off and
Oh, well, dealing with a couple of deaths and stuff. And well, dealing with, still haven't really fully accepted Jazz yet.
yeah.
I had a dream about him too.
Really?
And he was happy as can be. He was smiling, he looked good. And man, don't worry about me. He was real happy.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that because we do need to put it out there too, though, because this weekend
Yeah, I can't do it.
you can't do it.
I can't see I do not want that to be the last memory I see of my little
Yeah.
brother. I do not want
I understand
that
people mourn differently, but his services will be
Saturday
this Saturday
at St. Leo the
St.
Great
Leo the
Church
Great,
for 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
And they're asking if you're coming to please wear white with hints of purple and gold.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. So his service is probably going to be a lot of folks.
He and I have been even though I was 6 years older than him,
Mm-hmm.
he and I were in grammar school together. And I graduated St. Aug before he got there.
That's right, because he was at St. Aug too.
Yeah.
So that's this weekend, this Saturday.
Yeah. And then we had
I'm going to see, can I make it too?
Yeah, because I had to go to a funeral this weekend, this past weekend, Saturday. My best friend, Felton Morris, his father passed away, but he was 80-something years old, and he had Alzheimer's, so he's at peace now.
Yeah.
But that dude was a mess. That dude was a mess when the lady was talking about him. He said, yeah, if you were around him, he could talk that stuff. And I said under my breath, he talked that ish. And somebody heard me and bust out laughing. They said, you got that right.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
He looked exactly like the holla man from Dave Chappelle. Hey, girl, let me holla at you. Holla.
Yes, indeed.
And he acted like him, too.
Oh, Lord. My cohort ain't going to be here today. She got better and much interesting things going on in her life right now. So, Suzette, I think she kind of told everybody last week that she is in Houston. She's in Houston. It's that time for the baby to come. Her daughter getting ready to deliver.
Be a grandmama. No, Mimi.
Oh, you better not tell her that.
Mimi.
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 Yeah, don't say that. Well, you about to cause some problems. So she's gonna be gone for a while. I told her, I said, go ahead, I can hold it down. I kind of did that before. And Dr. Shepard has gone through, I think that's all of her spring stuff with the, I don't want to say spring cleaning, but they got all the stuff going on in school right now. So
right.
She's trying to get all that together. So with her working, I just said, girl, go on, do what you do. Get you some rest too.
They should be doing finals real soon, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be in a minute. It will be in a minute.
I mean, we are in April already.
It's something. I can't wait until they get to midterm elections and all of those.
Oh
stuff.
boy, I can't. Oh God, I can't wait to get that.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
To get that blah blah blah, 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 blah. I had to say that because I want to say other words really bad.
Do you have this feeling? I've never had this feeling about the state of the country
I feel
and I have this feeling now that we are in. Not only are we in trouble,
we're in
we
dire
have
straits.
distanced ourselves from all our allies.
Yep.
We have made more people in other countries mad
Mm-hmm.
in the positions that we have and we stand for. And I really feel, and God knows I don't wish this, I don't care what we think about him, but I really think that something's gonna happen to Trump. If he keeps going,
Didn't he
and he just threatened them people from Iran.
well, didn't they make a promise to him?
Who?
To Trump. We're gonna get you.
I don't remember.
I saw that a whole lot. They made promises.
Well, and I don't think that he's not, untouchable. I don't.
Mm-mm. And they might just let him get touched.
So something happened over the week that made me go, well, that was a lie to add to the other lies.
Upon the other lies. And did we mention lies?
I hadn't gotten there yet. I'm gonna be there in a minute. But I'm thinking more of this man telling the entire country and the world that we had decimated Iran's ability to fight back. We have decimated everything. They have nothing. They have nothing. And they shooting down F-15s.
Yup.
What?
Thank goodness they didn't find those pilots. Because they definitely would have been killed.
$60,000 bounty out on them. But I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Did the commander-in-chief just tell us that they had decimated their radar, their ability to shoot down planes, all of their installments, everything that they had, we decimated it. And they shooting down 2 of our planes.
Mm-hmm.
2. And not only that, but that A-10, the plane that's the A-10 that's close to ground support,
Right.
that has a titanium body.
So they got basically cop killer
They got something
warfare
worse than
that they
cop
can
killing.
take down
They
something
can take
like
down
that.
a
That's what I'm saying.
titanium-
It's the same premise,
And I'm thinking to myself, what do they have? But that wasn't addressed. He came back, and I don't know if anybody paid attention, but as he's telling everybody in the press conference on how they got together and solved this problem of finding our pilot, did anybody notice that the generals that were there to take control and tell you this is how things happen were trying to tell him to be quiet and don't give up on how we do things. Don't tell everybody how we do things. And he still kept telling everybody, we had over 100 planes out there. We had this many. And the generals are saying,
shut the hell up.
yeah, without saying shut the hell up. But they should have said, shut the hell up.
Shut
I'm
the
like, how
fudge up.
stupid
Better
can you be?
yet.
How stupid? Well, let me say it like you would understand it. Nah, stupid.
I'm
Than you
stupid.
be. I'm stupid. Stupid. I was sitting there saying to myself, who let this fool have a microphone?
Man, that dude is bass backwards.
I'm sitting there-
Yeah, I said it.
I'm just
Bass
saying to
backwards.
myself, y'all, this is the leadership we have. And that's why I'm feeling like I'm feeling about this country right now.
And then he cusses them out. It open the blipping straight. You idiots or what? He said idiots or something like that. And then he said that this is the thing that kills me. He had nerve enough, the unlitigated gall, to say, praise Allah. Man, really?
I think he's just playing with them people. Them people ain't to be
Oh,
played
them
with.
people, they gonna get it.
You think they gonna get him?
You know, that's the red button for me right there.
Well, we're gonna see. I don't wish nothing on the man. I really don't.
Huh.
I don't wish nothing on the man.
You can't pray for evil. You can't pray for good, pray good for evil. Evil got to go. Got to go bye-bye.
But I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think I just had this feeling any other time.
Now, I tell everybody this, and they don't remember. But if you ever watched Back to the Future Part 2, the character that was Marty's nemesis, which was Biff, became president. And he was president of a apocalyptic America, and it was destroyed. But he was living high and mighty in this high-rise building with his wife dressed as a hooker, which, well, I'm not going to say that, but we have something like that in the White House right now. And when they talked about how they fashioned that character of Biff being president, they said they fashioned him after Trump. They molded that character after Trump. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But this was back in the late 80s, early 90s. And here we are. It's just like the character. And if he tries to start, I can't say tries. If it goes any further than what it is now, they're going to start carrying out stuff over here in the U.S.
Oh,
you're going to start seeing the terror attacks and stuff.
Yeah,
you
we
will.
already have.
But it's going to be on larger scales.
I was thinking this year was going to be my year to do a lot of traveling, to go to different places across the world, and maybe even, go overseas. Those thoughts and those wishes right now, I'm not going to do it. And I was talking to Dr. Shepard about this. Dr. Shepard said, she's getting ready to go to Alaska. I'm sorry, not Alaska. Africa. I'd tell her not to go.
I'm gonna warn some people. Y'all come on our Facebook page trolling, I'm gonna get rid of you.
Oh, we got those?
Yeah, we got troll already. Talking about we can tell you're a Democrat. Fool.
Really?
I will cut you smooth off.
I'm glad you can tell I'm a Democrat. Don't cut him off. Let him be a Democrat. Let us be a Democrat.
I want him to get it. I want everybody to sick him.
I don't see that. So
I'm looking right at it.
Maybe it's me.
You can tell you're a Democrat. Refresh your page. It's right there.
Nope. I don't mind. But anyway. Hey, troll. Just be a troll. Everybody got to have some haters. If we didn't have haters, then
we wouldn't be doing the
our
right
job.
thing. We're not doing the right thing if we don't have haters.
But anyway, your president
ain't my president. Don't say that.
It's crazy. Nuts.
We got that part right.
Oh, there he is. What's his name? Travis?
Uh-huh.
He said play P. Diddy Baby Oil. Well, he must have got rubbed down in some. Bent over to pick up the bottle, and guess what?
He must have a surplus of baby oil.
There you go, poo-poo. Yeah. There you go. But anyway, do you feel like we are in a good place?
I've been having that feeling.
Yeah.
The minute he started running for president, and I saw how these fools were bending over backwards for him, and our people voting for him and saying, oh, he's good for the economy, I knew we were in trouble right then and there.
And the cost of gas. When's the last time you thought about ever paying $4 or $5 again for the cost of gas, for the cost of diesel?
It's ridiculous.
I can remember it had to be anywhere between 5 to 7 years ago when we were sitting back, maybe 8.
It was around COVID time.
When all of us were thinking about the cost of gas, how much we got to pay for it. And the number one thing that I think messed everybody up was the fact that we saw the influx of vehicles that were being sold as electric vehicles, bigger vehicles that were being turned in because of the V8s and how much gas they burn, how much it costs to fill one up. And then you saw small vehicles take over, electric vehicles taking over. And they called Biden crazy because he wanted to involve more electric vehicles into how they were being built and what was being built. Well, here we are. And we worried about the cost of gas again. We went back to the big old vehicles. We went back to filling up where your fill-up cost is $50 to $75 at least. And for those that got to buy a diesel, even worse. So here's deja vu for you. T-Bone.
Good evening, y'all. How you doing?
Good, man.
Thanks
What's
for letting
happening?
me do Wick. I haven't actually asked this, and I really was due to ask this since January. So I'm going to ask now. How much you paying for your gas? How much you paying for eggs? How high is your grocery bill? Because all of y'all at Dawson, this man was going to fix the economy, said, I'm going to get money out of him. How much money have you gotten out of him yet? I mean, okay, I'm going to stop calling people stupid. I'm going to stop. I'm going to just make it make sense for you all.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, because of him starting stuff with the Iranians, gas is going to $4 a gallon, and maybe 5 to 6 down here. Let me repeat that. Because of him starting stuff with the Iranians, which he thought was going to be a quick victory, like, I don't know, George W. Bush, like, I don't know, Ronald Reagan. Do you notice a pattern here? Let me spell it out for you. Republicans. They always get into it with the Iranians in the Middle East. You don't believe me? Look it up. Here's the thing. He's just repeating the same agenda they've done for years. He's just doing it on a more extreme scale. And by the way, there's still an issue with the cybersecurity part with national security because he downgraded the cybersecurity department. He downgraded parts of Homeland Security to put his peoples up in there, unqualified people up in there. Still think this country is great now, huh? Okay. Let me ask you this. Why are we about to sit up there and get $1 trillion more dollars in debt? And we were already in how many dollars of debt with Biden? Because y'all always want to blame everything on Biden. Riddle me that peoples. See, I just made it make sense to y'all more than one way. Because you always want to blame it on Biden. Black folks that voted for this clown keep saying, Obama didn't do anything or Biden didn't do anything. What is he doing? Worse. I'm not saying that Biden and Obama were perfect, y'all. I'm saying y'all made it worse.
Totally.
I mean, what else we got to say to make that make sense to y'all?
Yeah, it's worse. It is worse. But
I mean, count your dollars in your bank if you don't believe it.
Yeah.
Count how much you're spending per week on gas. Count how much it is to just get not even a full basket of groceries at the grocery store. Make that make sense for me.
all right, T-Bone. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you much. Got to take my break.
All right, y'all. All right.
Talk to you in a minute. All right, more coming up. Donald, hold on. More next.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. It's Monday. Gerard Stevens with you. What's going on, Donald? Thanks for holding.
Hey, man, what's happening?
Good, man. How you doing?
This man had no plans, bro. You know, and he bragging about the military plan that been pre-planned. They had gone over that they had that kind of unit for the longest to go and pick up the pilots when they get shot down, you know. And he acting like it's just a new thing. And most of the military just laughing at him. Somebody from the military might shoot him. Did you hear about the soldier about to deploy? And he married to a foreign woman, and then people picked up his wife and arrested his wife.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not into that. What are you talking about?
A soldier about to deploy to wherever they want to deploy him. His wife was arrested. She's a foreigner. You know. He was trying to go see about his wife and stuff. They're picking up anybody they want, you know. But he crazy. He is crazy, man. You know.
Something's not going all the way up to the top of the elevator. So
you don't know. All the generals. They say that so many generals that left or he fired. That dummy that's over the Defense Department.
Talking about Pete Hegseth?
Yeah, he horrible. They say it's at the Pentagon. Nobody like him, you know. So the military don't like him, you know. Anything might happen. Anything, somebody, they think they're safe, but any soldier might go off on them, you know. Especially if they're in the war and some of his friends got killed. Somebody gonna suffer for it. That's just like they did in used to do in the post office. The veterans used to go off. I don't know what to say. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Now, no, thank you, brother. Always.
All right.
So, I don't know. I was just listening this weekend, and I just stopped. Well, I was disappointed in the press conference because I was like, you're supposed to be the commander-in-chief, and the way that you're carrying on is like a little kid. Anybody else get that impression? Like, the way he was carrying on was like a little kid.
A petulant 2-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, your own generals are standing there in the press conference and saying, well, we don't want to discuss the issues like that to give them the inside details about what happened. And he comes right back and tells everybody what happened. We had over 100 planes and we had this going on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is it me? Is it me? And then what was the other one? Tell you what else made me upset this weekend. And sometimes I have to say I'm not happy that we don't have our sports show. But some people have to realize that, every show that we put on here costs money. And a sports show is going to cost money. And no matter how you feel about it or I feel about it, the personalities that we have, whether you like them or whether you don't, it comes down to this being a for-profit radio station. This is not nobody's, little radio station that they can just put in their pocket and take it when they want to go. And then those that are complaining about, not having a sports show, now you know why. But this weekend's Final Four, the women's Final Four, I haven't gotten to the men's conversation yet, but I want to get to the women's conversation. Because what was interesting to me this weekend, South Carolina and UConn first, and then I'll get to South Carolina and UCLA. I got to give all credit to Dawn Staley for how they destroyed UConn. With the defense that they played, the continued back and forth we saw with them. I mean, they literally shut them girls down. What was despairing to me was the fact that privilege stepped in the way and showed its ugly head. Privilege, posturing. But I had to give all credit to Dawn Staley because we saw that Philly start to come out. We almost saw that Philadelphia come its way out. And then we saw her represent the University of South Carolina.
That look on her face when she turned around was like, "What you said?"
I'm about to bitch slap you. That's what it looked like. I was like, okay.
I said, "Oh Lord, here we go."
But the representation for the school, to me, in my personal opinion, overtook what could have happened. And then after, because we wanted to know what happened. All of us wanted to know what happened. I don't care how you felt about it. All of us wanted to know what happened. And then when Gino got on the air to do his interview and said, "Oh, they got 6 fouls on this. And man, this is the national championship." That was one complaint. Number 2, I stood at half court for 2 to 3 minutes waiting for you so you could shake my hand. I'm like, okay. And then number 3, the apology. The apology to me should not have been accepted by South Carolina, its staff, its coaches, the entire university faculty, or anybody that wore a Gamecocks uniform until they take that apology back and make him write a public apology to Dawn Staley. And that, my friends, is where this lies with me. Now, they also said that later on, Gino picked up the phone and called Dawn Staley privately to apologize to her. That's not good enough for me. It might be good enough for her.
Not at all.
It's her issue. It's her issue, or should I say it's his issue. It happened between the two of them. But it wasn't private when it happened. It was public. You made a spectacle of yourself. And making a spectacle of yourself, I think, had a little bit to do with what we saw yesterday. Now, let me move to yesterday.
I just have one thing to say, one finishing thing for that. I don't believe his apology because when they interviewed him, his comment was, I said what I said.
Yeah, that was before the apology.
Yeah, that's before. I'm like, yeah, I said what I said.
The university probably made him apologize.
And Trump has emboldened these fools to think that they could speak to our people any kind of way and get away with it because of your privilege. But that's not the case. You get the smackdown because she turned around like she was going to say, what you said about my mama? That's the kind of look that she gave.
Not about my mom.
Yeah, what you said about my mama?
Oh. All right, can I move on now?
Yeah, you could go, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate
it. Yeah. You're more than welcome.
So, let me move on since we're talking about people's mamas. Mm-hmm.
Let's not go there.
No, let's not. Not today. What we saw yesterday was not South Carolina. Now, a lot of folks would be like, oh, see, Gerod from South Carolina. I'm not from South Carolina. For those of you that think I am, I'm not from South Carolina. I'm from North Carolina, but I'm part of the Carolina package. There we go. South Carolina is its own state, by the way, and it's just as big as North Carolina. So I'm thinking to myself, what they did, and I'm talking about Dawn Staley, what those young ladies did to UConn with their defense to shut them down, I don't think that they had the juice, the wherewithal to come right back and do the same thing to UCLA after UCLA was sitting there resting up, waiting for them. And you're going to come back, 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later? They shut UConn down, who's a very good team. And then to expect them to come right back and do the same thing, I think it was a little bit too much. That's my own personal opinion. I don't have no statistics. I don't have any of the who's supposed to make what. I don't have none of that. That's what the sports show does. But what I was expecting from South Carolina, we didn't get it. There was a whole lot of people let down. And I don't think it is those young ladies' fault. Well, you just making excuses for them, Gerard. Maybe so. But from what I saw, them girls couldn't even shoot in the first quarter. Everything they threw up was a brick. That let me know that either somebody wasn't concentrating, and I'm hoping, and I don't know how you feel about this, 504-582-9422. I am hoping that it was not the incident that happened between Gino and Dawn that got in their head. I'm hoping that was what it's not. Hoping that it was not that incident that got in their head. But I can tell you, whatever it was, it worked good for UCLA. And that was UCLA's first championship ever. Ever. Now, lastly, what I would have to say is somebody has taught Dawn Staley very well. Because she did handle the incident gracefully. And when they started asking her, Dawn, what happened? What happened? She made sure that she said to them, you need to ask him that. And I thought that was the best way that you could possibly handle it. Ask him. Y'all didn't see me initiate any of this. He did. Ask him. The question was, how many times, I don't know if anybody else saw this. I want you to answer this. How many times did you see them ask Dawn Staley? How many times did y'all see them have a conversation with her about the incident? But how many times did y'all see him ask that question? Once? Twice?
Three times a lady.
No. How many times did y'all see them ask Gino those questions? Interesting. Very interesting. All right, we got to take another break. We'll take another break here. We'll come back, have some more conversation. Cousin, hold on. I got to take my break here. More coming up right here on Monday's Reality Check.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
City Park is where to go when you don't know where to go. Turn towards the city center and start walking. Before long, you'll end up where you belong, at the heart of the city, New Orleans City Park. Stroll along the reeded marsh, wander through the sculpture garden, rest and recharge beneath ancient oak trees. This is where your spirit goes to grow. It's in our nature to yearn for nature. NewOrleansCityPark.org, heart of the city.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping Seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
WBOK. Better pay attention. Powered by Cox Business. Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. My number 504-582-9422 to get in contact with us. What's going on, Mr. Cole? What's going on, my cousin?
Cuz, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Well, I like to claim as well for old man.
You ain't that old. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm 79 and a half. I brag on it.
You 79 for real?
79 and a half.
I thought you told me you was
79.
I thought you said 74, 75 one time.
No, 79 and a half.
The way you was out there moving on the dance floor?
Oh, like I tell you, I still got some moves now. I used to win dance contests now. I'm still good.
That's what everybody was talking about. Everybody was talking shit. They were like, who the man is with the hat on there dancing like that? I said, it's my cousin.
Oh, yeah. Look, I still got a little rhythm now, but look, like I said, well, I used to go to dance. We danced all night long.
Yes,
I would come home. Look, I'll come home. My socks be wet, just wet, head to toe.
Feeling like Michael Jackson out there. Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Mike, but I can tell you about Coleman.
Yes, indeed. What you got?
Look, you know, if you played the game or watched the game, you know, UCLA was hot, Carolina was not. Now, the game, now it's a point when you overplay. The rhythm was off.
Yep.
Bad passes, turnover.
Yep.
But what the coach should have done really is settle them down, work the layups. When your outside shots is not working, you just do your layups, and hopefully that you could get back in the rhythm. They was out the rhythm. It just wasn't their night. That's all to it. You know, if you played the game, you know it. Your team is just flat. You know,
if you saw South Carolina play UConn, I think Don Staley said it best. That was masterful, the way they played against those young ladies. And there was no way in the world they could come back, 2-3 days later and do that again. All the gas was gone.
And look, like I said, they were flat. And sometimes you need more time to recover, really relax. But the pressure was on them to win again. But look, they have had their time of being champions.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you got to pass that crown on and let somebody else be champion. You know, UCLA ain't been nowhere, 15, 20 years?
They haven't. They've never won a national championship. Never. No, the women have not. Never.
Right.
So
So, like I say, pass the crown around. You just can't be top dog all the time. Hats off to them. But UCLA was just hot. It was their night. It was their time. That's all.
And then you got a center. You got a young lady that's a center. She's 6'7". I'm like, good Lord, she Andre the Giant up in there. She's 6'7", and the average for South Carolina was either 5'9" to 5'11", maybe 6'2". She is 6'11" and solid.
Yeah, but the difference is they were just throwing it up, and the net was coming to the ball. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just telling you,
going to the net.
They had a game plan, and they had a game plan. You know, lob it in. They kept lobbing it into their center on the inside. So they had a game plan. It just like everything for South Carolina was, you know, they were just out of sync. Couldn't get anything to fall. Nothing.
Like I said, one day night, and look, height makes a big difference in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
With tall people, you don't put the ball on the floor. You keep it high. So once you put it on the floor, the short people could get it.
Yeah. Those young ladies
I
were tired.
take my hats off to both teams. They played well. And, you know, you're just trying to pass the crown around.
Who you got for the men?
Look. I don't care. I ain't got a dog in the race.
You ain't got one in the race?
I just like to see a good game.
You got somebody in the race. Who you going for? I'm trying to get your money.
Look. Somebody already got mine. I got to wait for my next check. You know, I'm on a fixed income.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I spent all my money, my extra money with y'all at that party last week.
Yes, indeed. You made a little money at that party last week. Let me start selling.
like sound grown folks business now.
Lord. All right, cousin. I'm going to talk to you. Yes, indeed.
Be blessed.
You too now.
Enjoy.
Later on. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Well, we can talk about that a little bit more. So one of the things I did this weekend, of course, y'all can tell I watched the game. I was also paying attention to some of the news. There were a couple of things in the news this weekend that made me go, boy, this is going to at least take an hour to talk about. It's probably going to set some people on fire as we talk about it. And then, of course, as I was thinking about it, I was sitting there and I could hear something knocking. I was like, what is that knocking? And it was the rain coming down. Because I thought it was going to flood the entire weekend. Did y'all think it was going to flood with the rain? Did you hear it? It was late, but
I mean, the East doesn't really flood. You got little spots that might have some little street flooding, but nothing like flood.
Yeah.
Not like P-Road flood. You can your P-Road and go ride around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It didn't flood like do uptown.
No.
And it costs more to stay uptown.
See, that's the one thing I do love about the East. We don't flood, and
But
most of our electrical
huh?
is underground.
That's interesting. It costs more to live uptown than it does out in New Orleans East.
Yep.
And New Orleans East doesn't flood, but uptown floods whenever there's a spit in the road. So
the only time it flooded was for Katrina, and they blew up the levee. But that's another story.
Yeah. I'm also concerned. I said I was going to do this story, and I'm hoping that all of y'all are paying attention, because I don't think that you are. Did y'all get a chance to see where the legislative auditor did a interview? I think it was a press conference on television about the cost of picking up your trash. And everybody went, what? Because we've been asking about, wait a minute, you want me to pay more for my trash pickup and you're going to ask more for fees but I'm only still going to get 1 day a week, and I'm going to have to come up with more money what kind of bug crap is this? So, since we here at this radio station know a little bit about this, because we've been a part of this city and who's picking up trash, forever. We knew it when Jimmy Woods and Alvin Richards got these two contracts during the Nagin administration, and we saw how the powers that be acted behind two contracts. Not all of them, just two. Made everybody start wondering, oh my God, they must have millions of dollars coming through the trash. And then, to kind of make them look bad, this is during Katrina, we didn't understand the difference between picking up trash and picking up demolition. There's a difference. Demolition would have blew them trucks up if they poured all that stuff or picked up all that stuff that could be considered demolition in the back of those trucks while they're trying to pick up trash. So they didn't want you to know the difference. So Jimmy Woods and Alvin Richards said, we're going to take out a full-page ad and spend this $15,000 in the Times-Picayune Union to let everybody know what's going on. And ever since that day, I have made it a point to say that I think sometimes newspapers can also be part of the problem when it comes down to politics. Because those two businessmen were trying to explain to everybody the difference between demolition and just regular old house waste trash. We're going to spend money in your paper on a full page ad. We're going to spend $15,000 on a full page ad. If y'all got that much money that you told those two gentlemen as they're pulling out their pens to write your check, nope, we don't want your money. You told them no. Thank you, because they came to us and said, man, we don't know what the hell going on. Well, I got to tell you, there's some new things going on with trash in the city today. And we going to sit here with everybody across the city and get naked. Yes, take your clothes off. Because we about to get naked.
Butt naked.
And expose some more stuff. More coming up, y'all, right after news.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Chicago's Black Police Superintendent Larry Snelling is defending officers' actions during last year's immigration protests.
Without our officers being there, these scenes would have been way more violent. There would have been more citizens hurt. There would have been more residents hurt.
Snelling says police did not coordinate with federal agents and were focused solely on preventing violence. Maryland lawmakers have approved a bill to investigate Cheltenham Youth Detention Center's history. The new commission, led by Black State Delegate Jeffrey E. Long Jr., will include formerly incarcerated voices and report its findings by December 2027. And a new report from BLK's second annual State of Black Singles says 75% of Black singles are seeking serious relationships, not casual hookups. The findings show a shift toward intentional dating, loyalty, and long-term commitment. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, we got to talk. Well, why, Gerard? Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. And the reason why I'm glad you asked is because I'm feeling like, again, that there are some things that are not being told. And I sure do want to know why. Don't you want to know why? So last week, I had the privilege of having an on-air conversation with Alvin Richards. Y'all know Alvin Richards? Richards Disposal, the head man, the head honcho, the man that owns the company, The man that had the contract still has a contract with the city of New Orleans. And I'll never forget as we talked and talked and talked that he said something that was pretty much what we wanted to hear, right? He said, G, I have a plan. My plan, I could show you that if I have these contracts, what I would do is save the city somewhere in the neighborhood of about $19 million. You say, what? Yeah. I would be able to do these things in the city and save the city at least $19 million. So a lot of us got wind of something that was happening with the city, and that was we were getting ready to have to pay more for trash collection because your mayor is actually going to ask for more money to pick up your trash. In other words, it was going to be trashy money. Trashy money. How now, brown cow? She was going to ask for more. It was going to end up being somewhere between $36 and $40 some for trash pickup, depending on whose you are and what you are. And they were going to ask for it. So if you wanted your trash to be picked up, not twice a week, but once a week, that's how much it was going to be costing us because we had to get rid of this deficit that the city had, which was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $24 million for trash. Well, who would have thunk that it cost this much to get rid of your waste with no recycling? Who would have thunk that at some point we still would be sitting back and saying, we got the best deal of a lifetime when we know we didn't? And we had one of the owners saying, hey, I'm concerned about the city. I'm from the city. I grew up in this city. I did everything that I was supposed to do in this city to get this contract. And I could save you all $19 million. That should have shut everything down. Because right now, all we hear is the city ain't got no money. What? The city ain't got no money. The city is broke. We got a deficit. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Did I say we don't have no money? No, you didn't say the city don't have any money. You said we ain't got no money. All ignorant. But I got one of my vendors telling me that he knew a way to save this city $19 million. The question is, have the powers that be, have you all at least picked up the phone and asked Mr. Richards, how can you do that? How now, brown cow? Well, I'm going to be a little petty today.
Today? Don't look at me like that. Just today?
Just today. What you trying to say?
I know you.
I'm just today only.
Black person, I know you.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You call me black person?
Yeah.
That's better than what you usually
Yeah.
call me. Well, I'm going to be a little petty today. Just today. Just today.
You're really waiting for me to say
No,
something,
I'm not.
right?
I'm waiting for you to not put your finger on that button over there. That's what I'm waiting for. Just today. Be a little petty. And I want to throw some things at you. If you are, and I'm putting everybody in this position, I'm putting who's ever listening to me right now, I'm putting you in a position. This is your position. It ain't boot over. It ain't missionary. It don't have nothing to do with that. It's in a position that you are holding an office. I'm putting each and every last one of you all in the legislative auditor's position. So when I see Gina, I'm like, Gina, Gina's the legislative auditor, huh? When I see Linda, I'm saying, hey, Linda, congratulations on your new job as the legislative auditor. Well, when I see Andrew out there, Andrew, legislative auditor, boy, you the man. When I see Martin, Karen, who else we got online? We got a lot of folks on. Anita, Deirdre, Jacqueline, all of y'all are the legislative auditor. And you hear one of your vendors say, I can save your city $19 million. What? Aren't you at least curious to say, how now, brown cow? Can we meet? I would love to know how that is. I would love to know how you did that. But what I'm hearing right now are distractions. What? Yeah, that's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing distractions. Because the man was on television and the radio saying I could save you $19 million. That was not supposed to get out, was it? Pissing people off. Because we spending an ass load of money with the other vendors that are political matches, political contributors, right? So they got to get that contract. So the first thing that would come out of my mouth is, oh, you can save us $19 million? Let's have a meeting. So I want to use an analogy today that y'all keep using on us, the citizens. And I want to turn this around and make this one of those analogies that you all use on us. And then I want all y'all call me and tell me, Gerod, that might be a good idea. Huh? What? So here it is. And then I got to prove something. I got to show y'all the proof that I got. And I don't even know if they know this, but I'm going to have to tell them. Because I just happen to have a copy of it. Y'all ready? Here's the idea. Every single time in New Orleans that there seems to be wrong or something wrong because we got this and we got too many of this and too many of that, what do they usually do? Come on, y'all. Put your thinking hat on. Because I'm going to make you go, oh. Every single time as we look at services that are being provided, things that we want here, we shut it down and take that service and combine it with somebody else's. What? Yeah. Every single time I need to minimize something, I combine it with somebody else's. How come now you all have not done that with the trash collection? And the number one person that I see that could do the job, the trash collection, because he's the only one that I heard come up with a plan to help the city, not to tell you how much it costs. Oh my God, it's going to cost a whole lot more to do this. And, you know, we got to pay these people this amount of money and we got to do this. Alvin Richards said, I can save you $19 million. He ain't talking about with the whole city. He talking about for what he does if he had his areas, right? Well, how come we haven't come up with the proper etiquette and saying, hey, instead of having 3 or 4 vendors, why don't y'all just have 2? And actually, Alvin Richards has come up with the plan. So why don't y'all combine some of the other locations, give him those locations, then we'll save more than $19 million because he's only talking about one location. Hello, somebody? Is this thing on? Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
Am I being petty?
That's a loaded question.
No, I'm not being petty. I'm not being petty.
That's a loaded question.
So if your school, now here it is now. This is my comparison. If your school don't have enough folks in it, or we got too many teachers and we can't afford them, I know that we're going to all end up over there at the New Orleans School Board and sitting down there holding up signs and walking up to the microphone and saying, I was raised in that school. This is my legacy. And I need y'all to keep that school open. And they be like, whatever, vote. And when they vote, it don't be in your favor. Because they don't care about you. They going by what they need to go by. Somebody done put it in their ear. Don't vote for that. Don't vote for that. I got you in the office. I get you out. So guess what? How come y'all haven't said on the city council that maybe we don't need this expensive doo-doo that's being offered to us right now? Well, those guys do a great job when they pick up. Okay, they do a great job. Nobody's questioning if they do a good job. Why can't we hire them for somebody else's company? You paying them too much? You're not paying them too much. Here go the other issue. The legislative auditor stood up and did a press conference. Mr. Waggerspack. Mr. Waggerspack stood up and said, excuse me. Screws me. But this is costing the city too much, and I need to go back and find out how much we are paying for this trash collection. Well, guess what? Did you see any of the talking heads come forward and say, hey, hello, excuse-moi, yo now? Did you see any of the talking heads come forward and say, let me help you do the process? It was just the legislative auditor talking, and nobody else had a damn word to say. But I just needed to, get some of the earwax out of some of y'all's ears, because I want y'all to hear this. If you don't believe me, don't make me call him. But it's the honest to God truth. The last time when we said we were paying for too many people that were supposed to be serviced, and they ain't being serviced, and yada, 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 that was Alvin Richards and Jimmy Woods. And guess what the men said? Y'all want to do a count? Go ahead. So guess who they got? The OIG's office. Mr. Screw-em with the politicians. Mr. Screw-em, that's what I call him. Along with students from one of the local universities and Dr. Cowan. Yeah, I remember when Dr. Cowan was, if you saw the OIG, Dr. Cowan was holding on to his coattail, riding him like he was Trigger. He was riding the OIG's coattail like his name was Trigger. On there talking about, oh, yeah, yeah, 8 seconds, yeehaw, yeehaw, ding, 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 ding.
It's not too far out for me to send you to break.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeehaw, yeehaw. Who that is? Oh, that's Dr. Cowan on OIG's coattail. Yeehaw. Thought we was at the rodeo. Yeehaw. You was a bonking bronco.
Boots on the ground.
Him back on the ground. So guess what they did?
What did they do?
They got together and they did a personal on the boots on the ground count of how many places they were picking up service trash from residents, or were they going into the businesses, which they were not, and were they picking up residents' trash? And they were. As a matter of fact, they did such a great job in what they were picking up and what they weren't picking up that they found out that the city still owed them for money that they didn't pay them for who they did pick up. And I think that neighborhood number was somewhere in the neighborhood of about $3 million. What? You heard me. It was about $3 million. So, since nobody has an answer to the problem, why haven't you all reverted back to let's do a on the streets, boots on the ground count for Sidney Torres? Everybody quiet. Y'all know how they do, Dougie? Everybody dug it. Everybody dug it. Wayne was saying, everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. But why haven't we said, let's do it? But that's still not the reasoning behind me having this information for you today. Because they're saying we can't afford it. We can't afford it. Then why didn't somebody say something? They say if you see something, say something. Galloway.
I ain't got no money.
That what it is?
I ain't got no money, but I can tell you what this trash you talking about, my brother. Reason why city council ain't saying nothing, ain't doing nothing? 2 words. Sidney Torres. Follow the money, Gerod, WBOK. This man has contributed to everybody's campaign. He controls them. So anything dealing with trash, you tell that auditor, I hope you're listening to this radio station, legislative auditor, talk to Sidney Torres. Look in his books. You're going to find out why our trash situation in Orleans Parish is messed up. Helena ain't going to say nothing. JP ain't going to say nothing. Leslie ain't going to say nothing. I can just name all of them who he's given multiple thousands of dollars to. That's the problem with the trash. Sidney Torres and them skinny jeans that he wear, looking like he is a bomb off Bourbon Street, that's your problem with the trash.
Not the skinny jeans.
Oh, man. Them jeans tighter than Wranglers. Man, I guarantee you, he probably got a yeast infection, them things so tight, bro. But anyway, so I'm telling you, you follow that money. Follow where he's giving money to and why folks ain't saying nothing. And I got to say this about Red Bottoms. They asked Red Bottoms about the court, combining the courts. Red Bottoms, its own video, said, I don't care what they do with the courts. As long costs money. So there you go, another person. Add him and Helena to the list of that. You talked about the before I talk about the war, you talked about the South Carolina coach Don Staley. You know, Gino, or whatever his name is, has a horrible problem with losing to successful women. He started this with Pat Summitt. Him and Pat Summitt go back and forth. You know, before she passed away, that woman went to her grave not liking this man. Now, with Don Staley, even though he has a winning record against Don Staley, he's 10-6. But as of lately, Don Staley's been getting the better of him. But this is the crazy part. He has coached Don Staley on the Dream Team. He's coached with Don Staley. So he knows this woman in and out. He tries to trigger her because she's outdoing him. He cannot take a loss to a woman. Bruh, I've been married to a black woman for over 30 years. You ain't never going to win that argument. Good luck to you. That woman showed class and grace. In winning and losing, that is a lesson. My issue is, if you are a young woman, do you really want to go play for UConn after you've seen a grown man who's been coaching for over 40 years sit there and lie back to back to back to back to justify his crying baby attitude? You said it best. This man sitting there talking about a handshake. The video proved it was a lie. They ripped the jersey. Video proved that was a lie. The fouls. Video proved that was a lie. So y'all really want y'all daughter to go sit there and play for something like this? And my last thing, this war. You know this last little escapade that went over there and saved the down pilot, and thank God he's home? That cost taxpayers of the United States $500 million.
Wow.
You dealing with aircraft. I keep telling folks, the amount of money that our United States military has, you will never believe it. Just the Reaper drone itself costs $29 million. A drone. There was the F-15 cost $94 million. The C-130 that they had to blow up, that thing is over $100 million. And then the Apache, the Black Hawk, that thing is like $26 million. And this man gonna sit there and get that crazy interview today talking about we're not worried about the equipment. You better worry about the equipment. You're spending billions and billions of dollars a day and you haven't accomplished anything. You keep trying to sit there and say that this ain't a holy war, but then y'all keep doing dumb stuff. Gerard, I'm telling you, the last thing you want to do is go to a Middle Eastern country and convince those people that you're fighting a holy war. We are not going to come out of this one like we think we're going to come out of it. They're waiting on stuff like this. How many centuries these folks been fighting over holy wars and stuff? I'm passing down the generation from generation to generation. Don't do that. Hegseth fired 3 generals this past week. And one of them was a chaplain. Who fires the preacher? Come on, man. You fired the preacher.
The devil.
Exactly. A demon. I said, man, and Trump gave his Easter speech yesterday. I said, that man ain't good over cuss them folks out, and then he told them to praise our lives and stuff. Man, leave them folks alone when it comes to that, Gerard. Those people do not mind dying.
Somebody gonna
you heard what Iran did, right? Trump upped his recruiting age to 42. Iran lowered their recruiting age to 12. Come on, man. So I'm not saying that we cannot come out of there and you can bring your behind back home, but at what cost, how much money, and how much blood do you want to shed over 21 miles of water? That's what you're fighting over right now. I don't care how much Pete Hegseth says it's a holy war. All you're doing is making them fanatics come. You're in a region that's surrounded by nothing but Arabs who practice the Muslim religion, whether Shia or Sunni, don't care. They will come together to fight you.
There you go.
So, hey, good luck to y'all, my brother. I'm going to sit outside and get these chicken and ribs going on this grill, and y'all have a good work week. I ain't working this week.
All right,
take it easy, my brother.
Take it easy, bro. Yes, indeed. Down in Texas. He on the grill. He ain't working.
We need to be hanging out with him.
I'm telling you. Save me a dog, bro. All right, more coming up, y'all. I ain't finished with this story. Well, I haven't even revealed why I'm doing this story yet, because I got something to reveal. If you know somebody that is interested in it, you need to call them and tell them, y'all need to turn the radio on and take a listen, or go online and take a listen to it, because when I reveal this, it's going to make some people mad. Bruh, I'm telling you, it's going to make some people mad. I'm not making this up. I have it. I'm just giving y'all the background first, and then we're going to reveal it. More coming up, people.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Conflict in the Middle East, mixed feelings about artificial intelligence, and more are causing turbulence in markets. But when things are volatile, John Rogers sees opportunity. Rogers is founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, one of the largest and longest-running black-owned investment firms in the country. Speaking recently at Bloomberg Invest, Rogers says that above all, his firm focuses on being patient and having a long-term view.
You have to wait until you can buy a great business at a bargain price. And then you have to be patient, as sometimes often a company maybe is going through a temporary crisis. You have to be able to look out again over the horizon and see what that company will look like when the sun comes out again and the storms drift away.
Ariel focuses on businesses that it feels will perform well in the long haul, even if it hits some bumps in the road along the way. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
A majority of us, as indicated by numerous polling results, oppose the war in Iran. We watch in astonishment, along with the rest of the world, as our erratic president unleashes chaos by his ill-advised decision to join the Israeli prime minister in a questionable attack on Iran. This appears to be a classic case of the tail wagging the dog. Since when in the hell did an American president subjugate its decision to go to war to a foreign government? Though President Trump refutes any suggestion that he was talked into the attack by Israel's prime minister. But here we are, a month into a war with no definitive explanation as to why and no damn exit strategy to get out. Mr. Trump can't seem to make up his mind. First he said it was because Iran was just weeks away from producing a nuclear bomb. Intelligence experts say there is no evidence that Iran was capable of a nuclear attack or that they presented a threat to the United States. Plus, Trump had already bragged about knocking out Iran's nuclear capability with a bombing raid earlier this year, an obvious example of Trump contradicting himself, which should surprise absolutely no one. Trump also talked about going to war to force a regime change in Iran. The Iranian regime, folks, is still intact. What we have now is a chaotic mess created by the president of chaos, resulting in worldwide economic disaster and a war-torn Middle East. Even worse, the cost to human life. An American bomb exploded on an Iranian middle school, killing over 100 children. The Iranians have been fighting back. 13 American soldiers have been killed and scores have been injured. Incredibly, in the midst of all the chaos and tragedy, Trump just went on TV in a nationwide broadcast telling us he's winning big. Well, he's definitely winning big if that means alienating our NATO allies, the majority of whom oppose the war. He's really winning big if he means closing the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has done in retaliation, inflicting global economic instability. If this is winning, Mr. President, I shudder to think what losing looks like. It's past time for the spineless Republican majority Congress to enforce the War Powers Act and take the keys away from a delusional grandpa who wants to be king of the world. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
Sunday Gospel. I am Leo Jackson asking you to tune in every Sunday, 12 noon till 2 p.m. Feel the power of the Holy Spirit moving. Make you want to clap your hands, shout, cry out, glory, hallelujah. Don't miss this program, Sunday Gospel, 12 noon until 2 p.m. every Sunday. Station you listen to all day long.
Come on, let's have a good time. Come on, let's have a good time.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
If you live in New Orleans, your trash pickup fees won't go up just yet. Officials want to make sure they increase the fee by the right amount. State Legislative Auditor Mike Wagasback tells Fox 8 that they are trying to nail down the exact number of households actually receiving services. That determines how much the city pays. Right now, the city sanitation department runs at a reported $24 million deficit.
We don't want to ask twice. We don't want to get the wrong number. We want to make sure it's right, and we want to make sure that whatever the fee, whatever the count is, we just need to make sure that pays the sanitation contracts as they sit today.
The Sewerage and Water Board collects the current $24 fee on behalf of the city. Mayor Helena Moreno and Wagasback say that the fee hasn't been raised since 2011. The auditor says he hopes to have solid numbers for the review, and from that review in about.
All right. There you have it. That comes from Fox 8. We appreciate them for letting us use their audio there. So, and I think what's fair is fair. What is fair and what's good for everybody, it should be good for those folks too. So, if you're going to do an audit with a count, you all remember something. Since 2011, since we saw that number of folks that were in the city, that number has dwindled. That number is dwindled. So more than likely, the city is operating off of flawed data. What? I think there should be two things considered. Number one, I got a contractor who has really proven himself to save this city when we needed it the most several times. What do you mean there, Gerard? What do you mean? I mean, when this city was underwater and we had to move a whole bunch of trash, he and his predecessor, all of them had gotten together and said, let's do it. We won the contract. Oh, people lost their mind when Jimmy Woods with Metro and Alvin Richards with Richards Disposal won the contract to do city services and remove the trash. People lost their mind. You Negroes ain't supposed to have that type of equipment and money. And they won the contract fair and square. All the rest of the vendors got mad, picked up their ball, and went home until they got together and started meeting on how they were going to stop them. It took them 10 years, but here we are. Here we are. So I'm going back to, and that's what I'm thinking you all are going to tell me. I thought somebody was going to tell me, but it's quiet. Oh, we need an audit? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Where are you all? Then how are we going to do this audit? Because the number of folks that live in this city now has dwindled. If the number of folks in this city have gone down, then why are we paying so much? That's number one. Here's the one that's going to get the phone ringing. So let me go and give you the telephone number. Y'all ready? 504-582-9422. Why am I looking at RFP 4564 for Service Area 5, the French Quarter, and Downtown Development District, the DDD Sanitation Services? Why am I looking at a new contract that says this First Amendment is entered into between the city of New Orleans, represented by Helena N. Moreno, mayor of the city, and Ivy Waste, LLC, represented by Sidney Torres, the president, the contractor. The city and the contractor are sometimes collectively referred to as the parties. The amendment is effective as of June 23, 2026, and the effective date, right? Well, I'm also looking at it and saying, does this mean this is the contract for 2022, 23, 24, and 25? Yes. The expenditure for the contract for sanitation services in Area 5, that's the 13 blocks of this city, was in the amount of $479,550. Well, what is the problem there, Gerard? That's in the previous time. Yes, you are correct. But I ain't finished. Because as I go through this, it says, whereas the city and the contractor, each having the authority to do so, desire to enter an amendment to extend the term for 18 months through December 22nd, 2027, to modify, reaffirm, and add certain terms and provisions, and to reaffirm that the surety was intervened and bound itself to the full and faithfulness and the faithful performance of the contract. Now, therefore, for good and valuable consideration, the city and the contractor amend the contract. They call it an extension. The contract term is extended for an additional 18 months from June 2026, June 23rd, 2026, through December 22nd, 2027. The services, starting in July of 2026, recycling carts. The section shall be deleted in its entirety and replaced with the following. Effective July 1st, 2026, contractors shall be responsible for fulfillment of recyclable materials service requests, order recycling carts, repair cycling carts, replace cycling cart, remember and return cycling carts, and Service Area 5. What is Service Area 5, y'all? What could that be? The French Quarter? Oh! What? So now we got a section of the city that's going to be doing recycling. What about your section? Y'all doing recycling? But I'm just asking the question because I really want to know. I thought that they said, hold up. Don't do none right now. Why not? Because I need to see exactly what we're doing. I need to see what the county is. I need to see what this saving the city $19 million is all about, Mr. Automatic Auditor. I thought that's what this said. But the papers that I'm reading, you all are getting ready to sign a contract effective July 1st for an extension. I'm sorry, 18 months starting June 23rd. I said July 1st, but June 23rd. Well, here's the other part of that. I could have sworn y'all were in court with this contract because didn't Troy Henry's company, Henry Consulting, win that contract? And y'all signing another one to extend this person? Contractors shall be responsible for fulfillment of all recyclable materials, service requests, order recycling cart, repair cycling carts, replace cycling carts. This is just in the French Quarter? What about the rest of the city? So we said we are going to extend their contract. That's interesting. No other contract? None? How'd that happen? More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. President Trump is turning the heat up on Iran, publicly signaling that U.S. strikes could soon hit not just military sites, but even critical infrastructure like power systems and bridges. The warning came Easter morning and was tied directly to Iran's control of the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point responsible for moving about 1/5 of the world's oil supply. Since traffic through the corridor has been restricted, oil prices have surged past $100 $100 a barrel, putting pressure on global markets and U.S. consumers alike. Targeting infrastructure used by civilians could run into violations of the Geneva Convention, which prohibit attacks on non-military targets. The administration is arguing some of the sites may support Iran's defense capabilities. Experts warn that logic could stretch the definition of a military target too far. On Capitol Hill, the backlash is ensuing. Senator Chris Murphy called the rhetoric reckless. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
WBOK online at WBOK1230.com. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. A few more minutes before we get out of here. I just wanted to talk about this because I'm looking at this contract and saying to myself, boy, what a day. Man, I didn't know we were going to do this. I could have sworn the legislative auditor said, let's hold off on doing this. But this is signed as a First Amendment to the Professional Services Agreement between the City of New Orleans and Ivy Waste. So are we really trying to save anything? Let me do this. Philadelphia Indemnity Insurance Company, surety intervenes, the contract binds itself. So the full sum of the contract, $6,226,590 for 1 year of the contract, and the faithful performance of all work required of the contractor. By this, he gonna come back? Okay. And the faithful performance of the work required by the contractor by this contract, and the full sum of $6,267,653 for year 2 of the contract. So there's an increase. Contract for the full sum. So the city has agreed to pay an increase. The maximum aggregate amount payable by the city under this agreement is increased to $13,523,668. But I still look at the former contractors and say to myself, you all didn't have that cost of living increase, didn't have the gas increase, none of that. Did you? All right. It's all about the contract that you signed, so I ain't mad at them for that. But some people have to do what they got to do to get the contract. Now, if I'm looking at this price just for Area 5, is this worth it to me when you say that, oh, we're not going to do any type of this and this and this until we can see what's best for us? Is this best for the city? Well, I know I got a young man that I know that love to know, is this the best thing? On the phone with me, the owner of this radio station and also his own consulting company, Troy Henry. Hey, Mr. Henry.
Hey, G, how you doing, my man?
I don't know. I'm looking at this contract here, and I'm not understanding some things here, and I don't know if you got a chance to really read what I'm putting out here or hear what I put out here. But I thought we were in a area where they said, you know what, before we sign another contract, we need to make sure that we're getting the best bang for the buck, and we need to see how many households we're serving.
Oh, this is a citywide contract you're talking about?
This is a First Amendment contract put together for Ivy Waste.
Okay. I haven't seen it, G. But is it the one, you're talking about the one for the French Quarter or for?
It says Area 5, French Quarter and Downtown Development District.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're trying to do, this is the amendment that they were trying to do that would
extension
extend him and give him a raise?
For 18 months.
Yeah, see, the contract that he signed was a 6-month contract because they knew that our case is still under litigation, and so they did it in 6-month increments so that if we prevail, then, we would just take over at one of those 6 months breaks. So I don't understand why they would want to do that. Well, I do understand it, but legally, I don't think that's probably a wise thing for them to do because essentially, if we prevail in court, it's essentially trying to circumvent the court's action.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they did it in six months intervals, okay. So why is this saying 18 months?
Well, the full contract was for 6 months, and then there were 3 renewable 6-month contracts. But each one had to come up for renewal again. So now they're saying, hey, let's not renew it. Let's just guarantee it. And, again, like I said, I think that violates the spirit of the court proceedings that we have today. And there's no urgency beyond the fact if they wanted to renew them for another 6-month period, they could while this is still working its way through the court system. So
this doesn't seem smart, though. If I got a state legislative auditor that's saying, hold off on signing any more types of contracts because we need to make sure that we get the best bang for our buck.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, and now they're also, he's receiving a raise as well as part of the process.
Yeah. The increase, they said it increased to $13,523,668.
Yeah. So, that I'm just curious to why he warranted a raise when 6 months ago he just put in a bid with a number and the whole thing and said he was going to stick to that number. I'm not sure I understand what the basis of a raise would be.
And this was not the lowest bidder.
No. This was this interim contract, I guess I call it, was quote unquote a best value contract.
So I don't understand, what is the best value? Is there something I missed in the contract? Is it because it looks
it's a much
standard?
more subjective process, and we were part of it. We finished second, and but it gives them the ability to score everybody based upon their writings, and it's not just on pricing and things of that sort. So, but everybody had to live with what they committed to in their proposal, is what I thought, at least for the duration of the contract.
Mm-hmm. So, in your professional opinion, this increase?
It's just a hookup. That's all it is. In my opinion, look, 6 months ago you said you could do it for this price. Now, what's changed?
Wow.
The requirements haven't changed. The number of houses hasn't changed. The amount of pressure washing is the same. The amount of pickups of trash is the same. I'm not sure what had changed. And if you made a commitment, why would you now need to, change from that commitment?
But nobody's questioning, and that, I guess I'm the only person here that's questioning it.
Well, it's my understanding that his request was sent to the Public Works Committee. And so I'm assuming there will be a Public Works Committee hearing that will contemplate this. And, you know, so I know Jason Hughes is the head of Public Works, and I'm not sure who else is on the committee now, but I think it's worth at least having a conversation with, you know, the committee members to just understand. And they haven't voted, is my understanding, yet on it, but at some point in time they're going to have to. This was a request by the administration, by the mayor, to the council. And I was surprised to see raises given out when there's other people that are taking furloughs.
Right.
Or raises being contemplated when other folks are taking furlough, you know, requests. So, but look, I'm not part of the administration, so I don't know all that they're doing and what their, you know, their thought process is. But it sounds a little odd that, you know, 6 months later, you already want to change your price, change your deal, change your scope. I'm not change your scope, but change your term, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all inures to Ivy Waste benefit. There's nothing in there that inures to the city benefit at all.
Well, we're going to start asking some questions to see why. So I didn't know if you had seen this or not, but I'll make sure.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure if there was something new that you were talking about. I saw that, and, you know, I think the courts are aware of it as well. So it seems to be an attempt to circumvent. Should the courts rule in our favor and in Charles Rice's favor soon, that our contract would immediately become valid for the next 5 years. So.
Well, good enough. I'm not gonna hold you all day. I appreciate the information.
Okay, G.
And
all right, bro.
We'll stay on top of it. I appreciate it. All right, thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
All right. Troy Henry joining us to give us some idea of what this is all about. Says the old man. I'm the old man. This one. All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap things up for me on today. We got work to do, huh? We'll find out. More coming up, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the evening, and I will see you